guys, it's Cash, and I am out here still in quarantine, just sitting outside. So I actually have a funny story for you guys. So when I said that I didn't have a Twitter, to my knowledge, I didn't have a Twitter. So I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I went and I Googled my name, and lo and behold, there's a Twitter account with a picture of me from 2013, and basically every post that I ever posted onto my Facebook. So how that linked to that Twitter, I'm really not sure. It must have been something in the settings, but to my knowledge, this was not something that I was doing. So it even says on my last Twitter, it even says never had Twitter, no more Snapchat, it's been real Facebook. So I got rid of Facebook, but people reading that were probably like, what the hell, like, you're on Twitter right now. Oops, I'm not really tech savvy, I'm not really the greatest social media person, so whatever. But that probably explains how people saw all my posts. I just couldn't understand how people were seeing the private things that I even posted, but now I know. There really is no privacy in this world anymore. That's like a foreign concept. But what else did I want to tell you guys about? Oh, yesterday I did indulge in The Tiger King. The Tiger King is a Netflix documentary series about exotic pet owners. It's about these people. It just basically shows the subculture of that lifestyle and what these people do, the shady dealings that these people have, but it really focuses on this feud between a guy by the name of Joe Exotic and a woman named Carol Baskin. That's basically the main conflict in this whole thing. So what had me watch it was I heard that it was crazy, you know, you gotta watch this, oh my gosh, it's so like this, that, the other thing. And then of course the internet likes to hype everything up, so that's what made me watch it. So I watched all 8 episodes at once. The thing about it, when I was first watching it, like 2-3 episodes in, I didn't really think that it was that crazy. The craziest thing that I got out of that whole thing was the polygamy. You know, the polygamy side of things with the guy from Myrtle Beach and the Joe Exotic. So I really didn't think it was as crazy as everybody said, but as I got further into the series, I figured out why. And that's because my life in Miami, I was Carol fucking Baskin. That's why. I've been looking for something for you guys to describe what I went through in Miami, and this documentary basically just lays it all out there for me. So while other people found this documentary to be crazy and hilarious and entertaining, I found myself being triggered by a lot of parts of this documentary. You know, and in 3 years of me trying to come up with something for you guys to watch, to give you guys a better idea of what I'm speaking about in these videos, it's pretty sad that Tiger King comes closest to that. So with Joe Exotic, this is like the main character of the whole thing. The best way I can describe to you guys what this guy is like, it's basically like Joe Dirt had a baby with Liberace, and it comes together as one of probably the greatest characters in Netflix documentary history. Like, there's just no topping this guy. He's just so out there, it's ridiculous. So on that aspect, yes, I can see where people would find that crazy. But everything that this guy was doing, the intimidation, harassment, the smear campaign, the lawsuits, I would go outside to walk my dog, there would be dead iguanas strategically placed outside in my path, dead rats, you know, you name it. And like one point of the video, he's talking and he's like, I'm gonna do this, and you know, what does he say? He goes, I'm gonna stay on your ass until you go to jail for fraud. And that's exactly what was told to me all the time, that I was a fraudulent business and, you know, all these other things. So I couldn't help but feel somewhat for Carol Baskin, because I know what she went through. I know what it's like to deal with these eccentric, extreme type personalities. So everything that I talk about on this channel is in that documentary. The narcissism, the cults, gang stalking, which is essentially covert adult bullying, trafficking. Everything that I talk about on here is in there. It's all in one. So on the trafficking side of things, dogs, that Myrtle Beach guy, like, I totally got a trafficking vibe from that whole setup, whether it is or not. And I think they were raided too afterwards, and that's what they say at the end of the documentary. But definitely got a whole trafficking vibe from the polygamist guy with the elephant, riding out on the elephant. Narcissism, absolutely. Joe Exotic, he says people who come here to see the cats, they come here to see me, which quite possibly could be true. And then you have the series Scapegoat, Carol Baskin, who they're basically saying that this whole industry would be better if Carol Baskin didn't exist. Yet then Joe Exotic goes and copies off of her and tries to take what she has. So I don't know, I really felt for Carol Baskin. That's my personal opinion on it. I really just felt like all she wanted to do was just ride her bike, and then this guy's causing all this chaos and drama, you know, making mannequins of supposedly her dead husband, and just, you know, just going to the extremist low just to get somebody, just to get to somebody. So the cults, and I feel like the cult aspect of this you're gonna find within any exotic pet, because that's like a cult type industry anyway. But the Myrtle Beach guy and Joe Exotic, they just take it a step further. And then they're saying that Carol Baskin brainwashes people and she does all this stuff, when they're most likely doing the same exact thing. And then the gang stalking that I saw in the show, there's a monster smear campaign going on between both of them. You know, they're really doing it to each other, but really, like, he's just taking it way too far. You know, there's slander, there's death threats, there's property being destroyed on both ends. Like, it's just, it's pretty crazy. And it's and again, I'm extremely, and my mom's like, you're really gonna say that? You're really gonna, I'm like, it's true though, that my life, that this, as crazy and outrageous as that documentary was, instead of me viewing it that way, I actually saw it to be extremely relatable. So if you guys want to be entertained during quarantine, it's an 8-part series. I definitely recommend Tiger King. So what else do I gotta say? But yeah, so right now you guys pretty much have me in a rebuilding state of my life. You know, I'm like trying to construct something different. I'm trying to build like a different narrative, and I was just getting out there. I was gonna start traveling and, you know, doing that whole thing, and then boom, COVID. So, but to speak like in a more positive light, something like this happens before I start everything I've ever started that was either a good learning experience for me or very prosperous. So in 2008, we had the financial economic collapse. That's when I started my illustrious entertainment career. Okay, and then 2017 was Hurricane Irma. That's when I never thought I was going to recover from that. You know, my business, I thought it was over. I was depressed, and then 3 months later, 4 months later, things just sped up and were great for me. And that's what attracted the Joe Exotics to me. So, and then 2020, now here we are, COVID. Like I said, I was just getting out and getting ready to travel. So, if the vision in my head is what's to come, then this is going to be a very good, adventurous, great learning experience for me. But hold off on the Joe Exotics. I'm good on that. I do not want to experience anything like that ever again in my life. It was a great learning experience for me, but no thanks. But yeah, so if you guys like what I'm saying, like, subscribe, questions, comments, concerns down below, and as always, God bless.